gets going.
All right. Pinehurst Dynasty League. We are back and better than ever.
You know what's something worth mentioning?
What?
Mike Smith, Pinehurst 2022. What are the dates?
April 9th through the 13th, Masters weekend again.
Yep.
Super excited.
Course
it
lineup?
looks like it should be a big group. So,
what's that new course running in?
Right now, the course lineup is to open at Tobacco Road. We're going to go for a morning time so we can play replay, even though the Masters Saturday rounds are going to be going on. Everybody's got streaming services and stuff like that. We can pick up the coverage and watch it Saturday night. Sunday is going to, I think Sunday and Monday are a little fluid. Sunday will open the Ryder Cup, and it'll either be at Southern Pines, which is the Donald Ross course that had fallen into disrepair, I think, and several of us played it about a decade ago, and
I remember we
was not in good shape. It has been restored, and the restoration is supposed to be rather spectacular. They found a 19th hole in the process. I don't quite know whether you get to play the 19th hole or not. But
sounds like Glenn, after 20 beers, he found a 19th hole.
We might need it. And then Mid-South will be the other day. So we'll have, the first 2 days of team play on those two courses. Tuesday will be our traditional singles matches at Pine Needles, and we will close at Talamore on the new course once again.
So we're taking Legacy out of
lots
the
to look forward to. Yeah, Legacy is going to take a break this year.
Let's try that new place
for no other reason than when you get a Donald Ross restoration that is supposed to be good, you run at it, and we'll see how it goes. So we're looking forward to seeing everybody, and we'll get a little bit more information.
Catch that beautiful butterfly.
Costs.
Get that.
There you go. We'll get everything out and start getting a head count. We got room for 24 right now. We're going to look at possibly flexing up as far as 28 if demand is there. So hopefully a big group.
Yeah, expect an email in a few weeks.
Yeah, possibly sooner.
And back to football.
So there's some talk about golf.
So now nobody has an excuse to kill yourselves over the holidays. We scheduled Pinehurst.
It is out there.
There are still many reasons.
Yeah, I know, but this is usually the one that this is usually the one that drags me over the line through the winter. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of wanting to kill myself, let's talk about
our fantasy football teams.
All right. So, Big Cat, you wanna tell us where we're at with everything and just kind of set the table?
You want me to set the table? All right. Well, I kind of like your guys'
I will
playoff rambling.
The table
so we're going to get right into that. So,
you want me to lead off with my stat study from today?
Yeah. Why don't you just go ahead and say it?
All right. So this is a big week for some teams that have not got off to a great start. So in the two illustrious years of our fantasy football league, no team has ever started worse than 3-3 and actually made the playoffs. So basically you have 4 teams this week that are 2-3. Should they win this week, they are in it basically. And if they lose this week, they are out of it. And those 3 franchises are Mike Smith's Mapletrons, Craig Darius Tony, the Lord of the Slum, and myself, Derry Sanders. And really what you got is you got the haves and the have-nots in this league right now. You got Hulk Hands, Back Nines Matter, Diggs, Bill Cosby Sleepers, all 4-1. That's a lot of wins, so they're off to a great start. You got Booga Sugar and Sin City, who are 0-5 both. Their seasons are over, so we'll see what they do. Billy's already selling off pieces for draft capital, which I think is probably a pretty good idea at this point. And then you got Beaver Tamers and Craig Traz, the Traz boys at 3-2. So they're okay right now. But I think really the story of the week is going to be these 2-3 teams and see who can pull victory out of the jaws of defeat. And the very interesting piece of it is 3 of those teams are playing, I think, 4-1 teams. right?
Yeah, I mean it's just like
And
old
then I
Yeller's
get-
going behind the barn.
And then I get Danny and Joe's thing that they call a team, which I'll probably lose to. So there you go.
be about right. You've talked enough shit about their team. You
No.
kind of deserve it. But
I do.
all right. Well, how do we want to handle this?
Well, I mean, really, with 6 playoff spots, you get your division winners, which, I think it's relatively clear that Diggs is the front runner in that division. And Gabe, who do you play this week? Do you play
Me.
Goldberg or
Maple
you play
John.
Mike?
Nope.
So there's no divisional
He plays my
matchup.
joke of a team.
That's the other thing too, is that there's no divisional games this week. So, if Lord of the Slum or Craig lost to Diggs, not only would they fall to 2-4, and Derek would go to 5-1, but they'd also fall further behind in the division. And again, you're pretty much sunk there. But weird things can happen, and this division could actually tighten up a lot with some odd results. Odd. So I guess we don't have starting lineups yet because it's Wednesday night. And waivers haven't run, but there's only one. I think there's only one impact player that's going to be claimed off of waivers, and that'll be Devontae Booker for the Giants, assuming that Barkley is going to be out for, he's going to be out this week, but assuming he doesn't come back for a couple of weeks, that could be a piece, but who knows? I mean, that guy couldn't cut it in Denver, so.
He's bidding $69 on that guy.
I don't know. Does Andrew
luck
still
with
have enough
that.
money?
That was only $100.
I don't think teams are going to drastically change through waivers. There's going to be adjustments. Obviously, everybody makes waiver claims, but I think it kind of, in a lot of ways, is what it is right now. And I guess we just got to kind of look at those 4 games and kind of decide what we think is going to be the fate of these 2 and 3 teams.
Why don't we just get into that right now?
Let's do it. Starting with?
Well, which woodshed game of the week do you want to start with? They both involve you guys, so take your pick.
Let's start with our game, Mike. Let me pull it up there.
Okay, I forfeit.
That's not an option.
You'd be surprised. Wait till I trot out my suck-ass lineup. I've been.
Hey, Mike, what we can do?
Sorry,
little seeing how the sausage is made here, boys. Mike, go to take commissioner access and then go submit lineups for the teams, and then you can see their matchups.
Oh, isn't that a clever way to do it? Derek, you want to do that?
Yeah, I'm on here right now. I can.
I'm
going
not
to share
gonna
screen,
do that.
Derek? Yeah, just share your screen.
No, just let him do the deed, and then
Boom.
Share your screen. That'd be great.
Share your
Oh,
screen.
that's nice.
All right,
Now
so
you
take
can really see how
commissioner,
the sausage is made.
and then do
Just
submit
take
lineup.
control of an individual team.
It
No, you
says
just go up to submit lineup, Big Cat. Like you're going to submit your own, and it should let you grab from the drop down of what team you want to submit for.
Yeah, okay, I got you.
Yeah.
So did you submit,
Or you can
Dave?
just-
No, I didn't submit yet.
Wait a second. We're going to make everybody watch us fill in each goddamn roster.
No, you don't have to do that, but you can say, I can tell you, we can also see the highlighted players are the guys they started last week. So that's
Right.
their
So you're
most
stuck with
likely
Heineke.
lineup. So yeah,
Although
so I'm
Tua
rolling.
could come back this week, right?
Yeah,
I heard
so
he was in practice.
I guess we're talking about my game against Danny Vera first. So I can already
do
tell
that.
you that you don't have to submit my lineup. We're just looking here. But I got Heineke versus KC, which theoretically is a good matchup. So I'll be rolling with him. And then, I'm going to have
You're going to
Henry.
chase last week's points with Gaskin.
Yeah, I'm going to go back Gaskin and Henry and Sanders. And then
Tampa. I like it.
McCaffrey is a 50-50 shot. If he goes, then I go with McCaffrey. If he doesn't go, then I'm doing double tight ends probably with Fant and Schultz. So, that's really, my defense is consistent with where we're at.
I got to tell you,
It's not
it's
bad.
possible that Danny and Joe get off the mat this week. It's about as
Man.
tough a matchup as you can draw for Derrick Henry, right? No, seriously. It's about as bad a draw as you can get for Derrick Henry, I think.
Not
Buffalo,
great.
I think, has a good defense, right?
Not great.
Miles
Not
Sanders,
great.
that's not a good matchup, right?
No.
I don't know. Maybe Antonio Brown, that's a decent one. Deontay, that's a smash, right? Tyler Lockett's kind of a smash on the other side of that. So
Yeah.
you get to watch that game for rooting interests and for your fantasy team. But some of your guys that you would rely on to post a lot of points have tougher matchups than they've seen for most of the year.
Yeah, but Gaskin against Jacksonville should be in a good spot.
Yeah, I mean, if Gaskin is the guy he's been for 1 week instead of the guy he was for the previous 4, hey, good luck. I hope you're right.
Yeah. I think Fant versus the Raiders. Fant versus Raiders is in a good spot there.
Sure.
And then Schultz, one thing I looked at it earlier because I was like, oh, the Patriots are the number 1 team against tight ends. I was like, that doesn't sound good. But Derek, if you can click on that 6.5 right there on the right of Dalton Schultz, the opponents versus average, look at the tight ends that they've played. Donkey shit, dude. Not a single important tight end yet.
Correct.
So again, it's not a premium matchup, but Schultz has proven to be a part of that offense. Everybody else is just a fucking afterthought. So
lots of intrigue.
Mm-hmm.
And the flip side is, if you look at Danny and Joe, I mean, not only
why are you submitting my lineup, you cocksucker? You don't have to submit my lineup.
Oh my God, you are such a clown. You said let's do it.
No, I'm just saying you bring it on here so you can look at them. You can look at them and then you back out.
I'm going to submit them and then we can go back to the preview page.
All right.
Yes. Thank you, Derek. Correct.
You want to pause it?
They're stuck with sweaty Teddy.
Oh no, I think this is a good way to go through it. We can kind of pick the lineup.
Sure.
I heard that Jones is a possibility to go.
Oh wow. Okay.
He's in the protocol, but I mean, it's a possibility.
Well, he's playing the Rams, so we'll give him Teddy right now.
For the love of Christ, look at these poor bastards, right? Kenyon Drake, he's a nothing burger. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is on fucking injured reserve.
That's fine.
He didn't work out. He's on bye anyway. Marlon Mack, they're not going to trade him before this week. He didn't work out. Boston Scott didn't work out. Le'Veon Bell, why is he on the roster? I mean, they don't have a running back to play.
Let's play a game called Let's Find 8 Offensive Starters for this team.
They're going to have to start. I mean, because look at this.
They literally don't have enough.
Look,
they would have to start Marlon Mack.
How many? And do we only have 1 IR spot in this league?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. And they already have Jerry Jeudy on that spot. So I mean, I don't know what to tell them. I guess you got to.
That's not enough. They need another defensive guy. They need to start KJ Wright.
Brutal. KJ Wright. It's the only guy who can. So anyway, I mean, I guess theoretically it's possible because you've got some tough matchups, but this roster is decimated by injury and by its other challenges. So.
Oh no, you were right. Okay, sorry, Big Cat.
Just press go. So there you go.
No,
you're still looking for one more.
So I'm picking.
Who do you think? I think you have to go Le'Veon Bell.
I don't think. No. The other tight end, right? Oh no, Logan Thomas is on IR.
He's on IR.
This is brutal. Marlon
Here's
Mack.
the question, right? These are the guys.
Has he had any touches this year?
This is the team here. He's got a point. He's got 1.1 points. This is the team that needs to spend all their money on Devontae Booker, but do you spend all your money? Like, what's the point?
Yeah.
To what end? Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm sure they'll hit the wire and pick up some receivers or somebody, some startable piece somewhere they can start.
But this is rough. And this is an argument for expanding the IR slots, frankly. But,
yeah, you know
right,
what? Let's talk about that real quick. I was thinking about that. So the waiver wire really hasn't been too hot this year either, besides like the big standout name.
Oh, we've had a few big standouts though, right? Who was the guy that Andrew paid all that money for?
It was the guy the
Mitchell?
week before.
Elijah Mitchell.
Running back from
Elijah
San
Mitchell.
Francisco.
And then Cordero Patterson, somebody nabbed him off waivers, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Busting got him. It was a great pickup.
And then I guess after that, it's kind of Booker. I mean, Booker this week, he's going to be a starting running back in the NFL, so he's a valuable piece.
Did Wallace draft Damian Williams or whoever the Darrell Williams?
I think he did. Yeah,
I think he did. Yeah. No, the Chicago guy, because he's got Chicago's.
I don't know.
He's got David Montgomery.
He was drafted, and so was the Kansas City guy too. Yeah. So they were both drafted. So neither one of those guys is out there. You know.
Yeah.
So what I'm thinking is, if we eliminated one, if we eliminated one roster spot and added some IR flexibility, since there's so many injuries nowadays, it might juice up the waiver wire.
Yeah. At the same time, I don't mind the depth. I mean, I feel like the guys who had the foresight to get the backup in the draft process or early waivers for guys like David Montgomery and others ought to be rewarded instead of getting into a bidding war for, dumb luck that those guys went down. It's my perspective. I also think that, and Dave and I talked about this a little bit. I think we need to flesh this out as a league in the off season, but the IR designation and its 3-week period and stuff like that, I think that's new this year. I may be wrong, but I'm sitting on Russell Wilson and nobody on my IR slot. Everybody knows Russell Wilson isn't playing until week 10, but Pete Carroll's a dickhead, and so he's still sitting on the out designation, not IR. So I can't move him to IR. And then there are teams like, Danny and Joe that are just crushed with dudes who are out for extended periods of time, and they're burning bench spots on Logan Thomas and in a dynasty league where you're trying to build for the long haul. I like Logan Thomas long term, but he's not contributing now. Jerry Jeudy, same thing. They've got Clyde Edwards-Helaire on IR now too. I mean, so I think we need to collectively think about what we're trying to accomplish. With the IR slots and how to think about that short-term IR thing versus season-ending injuries and all that kind of shit, or longer injury. I don't know how to fix it, but it is.
We'll put it in the tickler file.
Yeah.
There you go. So give
Big Cat starting lineup here.
I was just pointing out I have 10 players with an injury designation. Out of how many?
I think I'm in 26. A similar situation. Yeah. Well, let's count them, because I think between you and I, we can that.
Here's a piece that we haven't taken into account either. Are there guys on the taxi squad that guys are going to have to start bringing up to contribute now?
You want to look at that right now?
I mean, I guess Danny
if
and
I could
Joe's
protect him next year without keeping him, I'd bring Kadarius Toney up. I might bring Owusu-Koramoah up, but I want to stash him.
Well, but do you want to win now, or do you want to see what happens next year? And that's a question that you have to answer for yourself. Do you think that Toney could push you over the line this week? If you do, then it would be silly not to bring him.
I know he won't.
He might. Got the Mills Mafia on my taxi squad. Woo! What are you eyeballing? Get your eyeballs off Nick Bolton.
I was just checking them out.
Yeah.
Damn you for taking.
Hey girl, how you doing? You want to come to a winner?
Hey man, everybody's
find some cocaine and hookers.
If I lose,
hang on, go back up. Go back up. Let's get a head count on injuries here. One. Oh, wait a second. I do have Tony Jones on IR. Shit, I'll have to cut him if I want to move Russell Wilson to IR.
Well, if they move him to IR, let's not bitch about injuries. So everybody's got injuries.
Yeah, you got
everybody's got it,
Mike.
Yeah, I can't hold a candle to you. Anyway, I still have Diggs winning because of his wide receivers. And I have Dave winning because Danny and Joe's lineup is just decimated by a bunch of problems. So what other games are we going to look at?
So we need to look at.
Do we want to?
We have Craig, Darius, Tony, Team Traz, and Lord of the Slum. So let's create a starting lineup for Mikey.
Let's get a lineup for Goldberg.
The Lord.
This one is this is like watching paint dry. Just I'll be the voice of reason for the rest of the league being asked to watch this fucking nonsense.
Mahomes, he'll probably do Carson. He's supposed to be back.
You gonna play? Oh, okay.
Yeah, theoretically.
He's got like all of Seattle's.
Jamal Williams is a start.
Grab back. Jamal Williams is gonna start?
No, but he's startable. I mean, he gets plenty of run on that team.
Is Madison plays? Is Cook coming back this week? That's relevant for the Traz side of this. Is this the Traz matchup?
Yeah.
Or is this a different game?
No, this is Mike Goldberg's team.
And then who's he playing? Traz?
Yep.
Oh yeah. So that's
so I mean, like huge. That's right. That's huge because they've got the other side of this injury, and so like if Madison is the starter and Cook sits out again, that's game changer, literally.
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
Is that the best they can do?
Is that Darryl? Now, hang on a second. Darryl Williams.
Oh yeah, he's got Darryl Williams
starter now, correct? Yeah,
yep.
I'm gonna have to put him in.
That's a definite start. Get Madison out of there.
Yeah, that's a smash.
And then here's what happens: is if it turns out that if Cook is out, then you put Madison in and you bounce out
Jamal Williams or one of their Beasley or some trash like that.
Probably Beasley, I would guess.
Interesting. Well, that's an interesting storyline to keep an eye on.
Right, let's do that. Let's do that match. Here we go. Traz, Lord of the Slum, Brady, Chubb, Boyd. See, Team Traz is not planning on having Cook back. This is their lineup minus Cook. Mm-hmm. So if Cook goes, then they're probably pulling Hardman or Renfro, I would guess. That would be my vote.
I would think so. Yeah. Maybe Patrick.
I would not pull Tim Patrick. He's been pretty good. I mean, he's a good wide receiver 3 or 4. I mean, he's been getting plenty of looks. There's no other wide receivers in Denver.
But they have Pitts on the bye. They have just acquired Michael Carter in the trade for Jalen Hurts. Corey Day. So they've got a bunch of Jets. They've got Crowder on their team, and so they don't have a ton on the bench that is not in this starting lineup other than Cook that they can go to in order to reshuffle the deck. So.
Mm-hmm. But if Cook goes, then that's going to be a big deal for them.
That'll be a big swing in this matchup. But Mikey,
Cook plays.
He's cashing that lottery ticket on Darryl Williams.
Cook practiced a limited practice today, so I don't know what his practice schedule was like last week though. So I don't know if he's limited all week and then just didn't go. So, but it could be close. I mean, especially if Cook doesn't go, this could be a pretty close game.
I don't think so. I think Cook plays. I think Traz wins it easily.
Yeah, I think it's all that.
I think Traz is.
Lord of the Slum has.
Although I'll tell you what.
By.
Yeah, but I mean, if Brandon Cooks gets back on the wagon, Philly will probably have to try to score. So Smith could have a day. I don't know. It'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Mahomes has got to be pissed. At some point, he's going to take it out on somebody. He's played like a clown for the last couple of weeks, but whatever. All right. So I'll say Traz on that one, which puts Mikey in the Glue Factory club with me and our 2-0-5 teams, right?
Yeah.
In this scenario.
And then we got Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby and Craig Darius, Tony.
Yeah, this one's not a good scenario for Craig Darius.
So let's look at the challenger first.
I mean, how did he not? I waited as long as I could to draft Tony. How did he not take him?
He's got Lamar. I think Craig's going to push all in on Booker here. He's a New York guy, so I think he's going to make a big move for Booker to replace Barkley.
Possible.
Yeah, he needs a starter too.
Yeah, and he's going to go AJ Green.
He does.
Tanyan. Hey, you could start Jarwin actually.
Or Terrence. Ought to. What a
Terrence
I
Marshall.
Tanyan elsewhere. What a waste of fucking
Can't really start
perfectly good air.
I mean, do you start Deshaun?
Somebody else could be breathing that air.
I don't know.
No. Oh, he's
a touchdown dart throw.
He's desperate.
I mean, honestly, if he catches a long touchdown,
enough starters. I mean, Lamar. That Chargers game should shoot out. Lamar should have another enormous day. Zeke, I think, will struggle against the Patriots.
Yeah, maybe. But they're not the Patriots that we think they are. I mean, we get fooled by it, but they fucking barely got past Houston last week. They are not the team. They're trading on.
Davis Mills had 3 touchdown passes in that game, right? So.
Yeah,
maybe you're right.
That's a total rat line too. New England or Dallas -3.5. A team
too many linebackers.
Houston, it should be Dallas -7.5.
See.
Then we got the sleepers. This team's sick.
Yeah, the sleepers are kind of the inverse of, well, maybe not. David Montgomery.
You could start Javonte.
Javonte. Yeah. Javonte's fly there.
He hasn't been playing him though.
Yeah. I mean, Akeem Hines is scoring points, huh?
Yeah.
I guess he started.
Yeah, he had a couple of big games. Who do the Colts play this week anyway? Houston. I guess they should be able to run against them. Yeah, I mean, those wide receivers are good. I just don't know how you. I mean, Josh Allen is going to throw for 900 yards and 8 touchdowns against Tennessee this week.
Yeah.
Especially if Henry runs for 7,000 yards, which he probably won't against the Bills defense.
Right. I think they are going to pass to win that game. So I just don't see how Craig
you passed.
Yeah.
Now, this looks like another glue factory trip.
Yeah, there's no way that Craig can win this game.
Come on. No, come join me. I mean, seriously, that puts right now we're talking about 5 12 teams being out of contention, and Dave being the only one banging around on life support, and that's only because he.
Yeah, and I'll still be on life support for. I'll have to win.
Until McCaffrey comes back here.
Yeah, I have to win 3 games in a row to get myself out of the danger zone. And with my division, that ain't going to be easy.
A lack of parity this year. Yeah. But we'll see. Who knows? Weird things could happen this week that would put a lot of people back in the mix. So.
Yeah.
It just also seems highly unlikely.
Who won the?
I mean, I think one of the most interesting matchups of the week is the UVA game. Dominic's playing JoJo.
Game of the week.
Wallace. Yeah, I think that's the game of the week. Wallace hasn't submitted a lineup yet, so you'd have to do that. Mm-hmm. And I mean, tough draw. As we said before, Dominic goes into next week. I have to watch it here in Houston. We'll try to live stream the tournament. Dominic will be here starting a week from tonight, and all hell's going to break loose in the suburb of Sugar Land for 5 days. But he's going to have to sit here and watch himself get ass raped by Andrew while the Chargers are on a bye. And so that's about as bad a timing as you could possibly ask for. You're division rival who's leading the division, and you're going to not have a team to field in their head-to-head next week. But Joe did not get lucky on the draw. He's got to face the Chargers on a night where they're probably going to shoot out. So that game, I think, could be really interesting. Beaver Tamers and Hulk Hands.
It should be the big game of the week.
Yeah.
And I mean, it could be the big game of the week in terms of like top two scores potentially.
Yeah.
I think both of those teams line up very well for big scores this week.
And then who won the Billy Mack lottery? Oh, Bussing won the Billy Mack lottery.
Yeah. And I'm just gonna let Bussing. I admire I commend him on moving on Cordell Patterson. I still don't believe in that guy, but he moved aggressively and he has reaped the benefits. He does not get that benefit this week, but this was the right week to be without Patterson. But I warned Bussing that 5-0 last year got me nothing. It got me a round ass kicking by Goldberg in the first round of the playoffs is what it got me. And you may want to move now, act while you have the initiative, and bolster your team with bits and pieces from those of us who are out of the running this year before you get left in the dust by the more robust lineups. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at. So who does Wallace lose this week? He loses his New Orleans guys. So
he loses Kamara.
Kamara and Callaway.
That's the big issue, relatively speaking. But he's got a lot of depth to cover that up.
Yeah. He's got all that wide receiver depth too.
Yeah. A really well constructed roster, and it allows him to weather the loss of Kamara. But this is a tough draw for him as far as, Dom's lineup for the week. So I think it'd be a good game.
Yeah.
You could even preview it if you want to screen share that ass.
Not really.
Not really.
Not really.
Anything else?
It'll be a good game. Good luck, mother.
They don't call him the best color man in the league for nothing.
All right, let's see the preview.
It's out of control with fucking linebackers.
I know.
Yeah.
What's wrong with him?
Utter insanity.
Loves
Got a lot of
linebackers.
them on that roster.
Wallace loves linebackers.
Well, one of them will come free when Andrews has his bye week in 2 weeks.
That's pretty good right there.
And another one of them will come free next week when he has to replace Josh Allen. So.
Yeah, so he's got to start one more offensive player. I don't think Shepard's playing.
No, so
Playing Edwards.
I like Josh Gordon a little bit. Josh Gordon's the play. No, maybe not against Washington. Whatever.
Washington's defense is terrible.
We'll give him this guy because he's got
yeah, I don't think he wants to double down on Kansas City wide receivers.
Oh, that's a risky proposition. All right, let's see what it looks like. And there you go.
Yeah, pretty close.
Tight matchup projected.
Oh. Computer likes Dom.
If Najee goes, I think. Boy, I mean, because Jonathan Taylor, that's a great matchup against Houston. All of the Chargers going against Lamar. I love that. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, Hawkins loses.
I mean, our first overall pick, he rebuilt quickly. I love that. I love those matchups this week.
It's a great lineup.
A really good lineup. I'm going Dominic this week. And not just because I'm sick of watching Hulk Hands win games, because I think that might be the way it goes.
Yeah, I just, looking over at Wallace's lineup, it's like, Tyreek Hill, DeAndre Hopkins, DK Metcalf. If that passing game in Chicago that's going at all, I mean,
oh yeah,
Wallace could
those are four of the best receivers in football, but DK's catching balls from Geno Smith. Allen Robinson's catching balls from Justin Fields and being coached by the dumbest piece of shit in the league. Oh, wait a second. I think Urban Meyer has surpassed in terms of incompetence. Hopkins is banged up and hasn't done a goddamn thing as far as I can recall. And Tyreek has been bracketed for 3 weeks. I don't know.
Did he have a big game last week?
Yeah, he had a big game last week.
Yeah.
Did he?
He's 14 points. So it's
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, no, 2 weeks ago.
3
Anyway,
weeks ago.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
2 game weeks ago.
All right, boys. Now we can start our 20-minute conversation about John Gruden.
Wow.
Careful what you put in writing.
And never write anything down and deny.
Never email. What's his name? Larry Allen?
Bruce Allen.
Bruce Allen, yeah.
Bruce Allen. Don't email Bruce Allen.
Never email anyone who may get indicted.
And don't correspond in writing with Bobby D, because you will be drawn into.
Stay
Who is
away.
this? I don't know this person. Wrong number.
Stay away from the Washington football team at all costs. That's the takeaway here.
I think that is really the lesson. As if anybody needed an additional reminder of that.
Yeah.
Dumpster fire. Okay, so what else do we have to talk about here tonight?
That's
Is there
it.
anything interesting?
Good luck to everyone this week. Good luck to Dave for cutting this up. And we will see you guys next week.
A not compelling broadcast.